I can't wait for the weather to break so I can start working on getting rid of this gut. Every winter I get a fucking get a pouch going. Kayway knows what I'm talking about. He doesn't even have winters in Texas. All right.
Welcome back to the Natty 19 podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Natty 19 podcast. My name's Jonathan Marshall. I'm here once again with the posse. I got Irame, Zavril, Copernicus, Quincy. Everybody's still alive.
I think I've earned the right to be called by my proper name, Copernicus Hart.
Copernicus Hart is with us. The young Quincy follow.
Greetings.
Where did we leave off?
Orphans and something?
We had a night on the town. We bathed.
I imagine we're all in bed by now.
Oh, yes. Yep. The 3C shipping. You guys were heading back. You did. You went to the bathhouse. You relaxed. You got reacquainted with Daniel Devitas. That was nice. Friendly face. Here we are. You arrive at your headquarters that night. Let's pick it up right where we left off. So it's still the night of...
22.
Is it 22?
Yes.
Night all 22.
Night all 22. It was the night you arrived back in Port Nyanzaru.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. You get inside. Daniel's still busy copying the information from one map to another, to you guys' map. Petrie still is not back yet, but it is running pretty late for him. You remember Petrie didn't stay there. Petrie slept somewhere else.
Irame would be a bit behind Copernicus, Zavril, and Quincy.
That's right. Irame finally shows up after a little, not too much time had passed. She had a brief discussion with the child. Couldn't have been more than a few minutes.
How was your conversation with the street rat?
Pleasant. Informative.
Copernicus, you don't strike me as the type that would judge a child on the street.
I would check your pockets, make sure you're not missing anything.
Nothing that I didn't give to him.
You've had problems with that latch before.
Do you check your pockets?
No, out of just stubbornness.
Zavril, what are you doing?
Zavril is continuing to write stuff down. He would like to have a conversation with Daniel at some point in the night. That can wait.
Yeah, Daniel's just kind of, when he sees you guys come in, he's like, "How was it? Did you get the jungle by night?"
Ah, yes.
It was delicious.
Very delicious.
It's one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah, filet wasn't half bad either.
Oh, that was the short and sweet one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that every now and again. Did you guys get the happy ending in the bath?
That's why we are 700 gold pieces in debt.
Nope, we used the public bath. The party that bathes together
Got the public ending.
stays together.
Got the public ending.
So you tickled the guy's hand then.
Word spreads fast.
You can't be tickling guys' hands. Not in the bathhouse, Copernicus. Yeah, so if you guys got any mail that needs to go out, the post kid's gonna stop by in the morning.
Yes. Excellent.
I got a few things I gotta send out to Alrod. Just let me know. Put it in that stack over there. He points.
He would appreciate it if you could keep the fruit juice down a little.
Fruit juice? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he bites into a fruit.
Drips all over his
paper. Spills all over the map.
Yeah, Quincy will begin to get his letters and stuff in order so that they're ready to go for the morning.
I was going to offer up Quincy's letter to him, one that I'm still holding on to.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Don Chaka.
You're welcome, Quincy.
It appears that we made it through.
So far, anyway.
Zavrel's gonna stay silent.
So yeah, Daniel's just doing his thing. It's still, I mean, how late? It's got to be getting close to probably 11:30 at this point. He goes deep into the night, though, for the most part. You get the idea anyway. So yeah, if there's anything you want to talk to Daniel about, he's available. But other than that, you know, the night's quiet. You guys get your beds ready to go. Your straw mats, I think they were.
We haven't upgraded these things yet. Jesus.
Irame's actually going to see if she can find a way to set up her hammock instead of the hay.
Then Quincy will take her straw mat and put it on top of his, so it's just a little bit
Extra,
more.
Make a double.
more cushion.
Got a double mat.
Copernicus is in his own corner, rummaging through his belongings.
Sleeping on gold. Sleeping on the treasure.
You can see he has all his stuff splayed out in front of him, his croc teeth and his tendrils and plesiosaur fin.
I do believe that's unsanitary.
You've also seen Irame. You're familiar with personality traits like this, and they usually belong to that of serial killers.
I know, right? It's the exact thing I was getting too.
Irame's going to walk over. I love arts and crafts. What are you making?
This wouldn't happen to be a directive through your pact, would it? You're not conducting some kind of ritualistic pact magic?
In fact, I am.
That is precisely what I'm doing.
Nosy bastard.
You hear from behind you. I think it's pretty cool. Take a bite of fruit.
Juices squirt
You don't
past
listen
your
to
head.
these guys, Copernicus. You keep doing your own thing. I think that's pretty cool. I think there should be a lot more creativity in the world.
Our DM did want us to craft, so I'm crafting. Leave me be.
I guess while we're all winding down, Quincy would like to, now that Irame gave the map over to Devitas and we have the map that was already there, he might pull out a parchment and start maybe drawing up a map that's the combination of both, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Kind of interested in looking at that too as it's being done.
I think that'd be a fun progression to see as we fill in things on the map.
That's actually what Daniel Devitas is doing with you guys' map as well in the headquarters.
So yeah, in that case, it'll just be so that we have a copy out in the field.
So that's what the juices are pouring onto, huh?
Let me roll to see how much of it gets covered.
Yes, and our copy will be without fruit juice.
Is there someplace private in here, away from everyone?
The closest thing you could do is up in the loft, but even then, it's not. You know, the building is kind of small. I think I said 10 by 20 or something like that. I can't remember the exact, but it wasn't too big. It's your tier 1 warehouse.
All right.
But I mean, you could leave and go behind. You know.
All right. I'm going to fold my letters together, and then I want to walk past Quincy. I forgot to give him something earlier, and I'm gonna place the other item he gave me. I'm going to just kind of drop it off as I'm placing my letters inside of the bin.
Yeah, Quincy will just subtly accept it. He could see that Zavril was trying not to draw attention to it, so he'll just quietly take it back.
Anyone else want to do anything on this night?
Yeah, so once everybody's kind of bedded down, Copernicus will get up and say,
I'm heading out for some fresh air.
and then he's gonna wander out to like the outskirts of town to kind of a secluded area, maybe some trees, and knowing before that sometimes he can call Sybil forward, he'll summon up his pack blade and then hold up his creation in the moonlight. Terribly
Demonic
built
ritual.
necklace made out of the assassin vine with croc teeth and bat skulls, and it's the pure blood hair is kind of tied into it, and he's focusing his energy on summoning Sybil.
All right, yeah, you did find a nice little grassy spot. You had to go out behind. You remember when you guys first met Zimwabi up at the Temple of Timora? You remember out behind there was some steps, like not stairs, but there was some
Like earthen steps
that go up, and it's kind of grassy, nice spot. You remember when you first laid eyes on it that'd be a good spot to commune. You take out your bag of reagents along with your creation, and you draw your summoning circle on the ground in salt. You've cast this ritual so many times before. Very little thought is needed any longer, which allows that much more of your attention on what matters. Your communion with Sybil. Your mantra that you're chanting ends, and you're sitting in the center of your magic circle drawn in salt. The salt would prevent unwanted entities from using your link to enter this world and wreak havoc. You've read stories of such atrocities, and while some were amusing, you respect the age-old rule of time and place. The candles and incense produce that all-too-familiar smell of rosemary and lilac. The lilac was unnecessary, but you've come to learn over time that it tends to soften Sybil's attitude towards you, making her a bit more manageable.
No matter how much I hate the smell of it, I put up with it.
In that moment of thought, the candles flare up, illuminating the darkness a bit outside of your circle, revealing, just for a moment, the dark things lurking, and at the touch of the light they swiftly fall back into the black where they are most comfortable. You feel the gentle touch on your shoulders from behind you. "A shame you've interrupted my bath," she says in a teasing way, and as she steps up from the ground, up out of the shadow that you cast behind you, you briefly catch her nude form before her black robe slings around to cover her body. The robe's collar made with puffy black raven feathers.
Copernicus will stand up from his sitting position and place the necklace over her neck.
"You made this for me?"
Yes, trophies taken from the fallen.
So during these communions, you always see her as like a pale-skinned, middle-aged human woman with shoulder-length black hair, her eyes green like emeralds. Very attractive woman, not like that phantom creature that you normally see her as. You see something completely different in these situations.
So this gift for you, is there any chance I could speak to my dead wife?
Oh, Copernicus.
You promised last time.
She kind of looks away for a moment, blushes, and turns back. Says, "Copernicus, I have not been completely honest with you." Do not get angry, though.
No, I never get angry.
But I have not heard from your wife in quite some time. I fear that it is related to this death curse.
Yes. What do you make of the death curse?
I do not make much of it, only that it could be linked to the Krugen sphere in some way, shape, or form.
I find that hard to believe. Our pact is null and void if you can't bring her back to me. Death curse or no curse, I don't care.
All right, the truth be told, I don't think it's quite related to the Krugen sphere, Copernicus, but they are near each other, and it wouldn't be too much out of your way. The deal stands. If you continue on this path, the only way I could bring her back is if there was a soul to return.
I understand.
Admittedly, if there was no soul, I cannot do much.
And how about, any more power or magic or anything you can give me?
I'll look up what's the moon state.
Waxing gibbous.
Shit. I was hoping for new.
You look up and there is no moon. You almost half expected her to call you a fool or say something crazy, but she almost looks sad. She has a look of pity. She says, Copernicus, you are growing quite capable on your own. What little help I offer, it does not mean much, Copernicus. Everything that you have done, it's all you.
Ah, your honey words. Typical. I make these gifts for you, and this is all you have for me is empty promises as usual. Well, can you at least give me some insight, Sybil? Where to next?
I cannot say for certain, sadly.
Oh, no.
Though I feel certain ties to places that must bear some meaning to my past. Unfortunately, even that fades with time, like most things, coveted or not.
Do you have a past here in Cholt? You never mentioned it before.
Once again, certainty is not there. However, based on your travels thus far, I feel ties to this land, and I only hope more becomes clear the more you travel. With the proper reconstruction of the Krugen sphere, I trust I will remember everything.
Well, even if I get the third piece, I'll really think hard about putting it back together without at least speaking to my wife once.
I hope to speak with your wife once more as well, Copernicus. She is a lovely lady.
She was.
Though you must be aware I am a jealous type. She chuckles. She says, will that be all on this evening, Copernicus? And she kind of caresses your shoulder with her finger. Or do you have any other needs?
We're done here tonight.
And Copernicus will start slowly walking away.
She just kind of fades out, and as the candles flare up one last time before ending the ritual, you see those dark, writhing creatures closing in, and then the spell ends, and she's gone. Her warmth is no longer felt. Yeah, during these communions, you almost feel like she's human and not some spirit. You feel her breath and her warmth, and it's very comforting. And it could be perhaps why you have this different perception of her that everybody else has, because you see her true form, or you know her as something much more human-like rather than a phantom, you know?
So everyone else sees that hazy, creepy ass.
Yeah. Unnatural bullshit. You hear the critters of the night, the regular insects.
Copernicus will he'll walk the night streets for a little while before returning back to the 3C shipping and freight, and then bed down with the rest of the group.
I've been walking the streets at night.
If your roommate dies, can I just be Sybil? Because she's awesome.
If Copernicus dies, I want Quincy to take a level in Warlock.
Oh, fuck that. I don't know. That
You're
would
stuck
be
with her.
interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, she latches on a Quincy.
Force him into a level in the Warlock.
A contentious pact.
Yeah, I think I'm sleeping in a building other than the one Copernicus is.
Copernicus creeps in. Irame, you smell it first. Lilac is on him. Just a hint of lilac, which smells nice.
He went back to the bathhouse.
Yeah. Back
Got
for
the
that
happy
happy
ending.
ending,
That's what I was
didn't you, you
thinking,
son of a
too.
bitch?
Yeah, so if you guys see him come in, he kind of has his head hung low, and he just doesn't even look at you guys. Comes in, goes straight to his bed.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, 10 days have passed while you were while you were in your circle. Full month. It is now Hammer 25.
Everyone else is like level 10.
Yeah, they're getting back from the main expedition.
No, Irame will definitely take the small comfort of a nice smell that's more familiar to where she's from. And
Next day, 23?
Night all 23.
23 night all. Wow. You guys arrived 14, right?
Oh, it feels like it's been so long.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, 14 night all. We arrived.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the you guys wake up, the sun is hot. The first thing you notice is where Zavril normally sleeps is replaced by a note.
Irame will put her glasses on to read the note aloud, and she'll just say, "It seems that fucking prick."
See, that's high five worthy. I'll take a low.
It seems that Zavril had some business to attend to today. He told us to go about what we had to do alone.
Did he say what kind of business?
No, he wasn't specific, as per usual. Characteristically vague.
Yes, I wonder about him sometimes. His ulterior motives.
Like supporting his family?
So he says.
Family is a pack of demons.
Pack of lies. Bullshit.
It's not as if he's communing with evil spirits or anything.
Yeah, where were you last night?
Was picking flowers. I'm sure you smelled the lavender on me when I came in.
Lilac.
Lilac.
Caught in your own lies.
They are both purple, and yes, they both start with L, but they are characteristically different flowers.
Wait, isn't lilac the New Hampshire state flower?
It is.
That's
so.
why I said lilac.
And
No,
they
you said
smell-
lavender.
Lilac's also...
Yeah.
Oh, no. They both are very scented, though.
3 brown mice.
You can...
I just can't get anything right.
You, like, know when you smell them, I feel like.
Yeah, so you guys wake up. Petrie comes in, and he's got a letter in his hand. And you see Daniel, he's sitting at the desk, and he's like, "Good morning, Petrie. Have you found anything out about that iron token there?" And Petrie immediately runs out. He sees you guys, and he starts throwing up his hands all excitedly.
Did we ever decide if comprehend languages would work?
What?
I thought
I think
wouldn't.
so.
For sign language?
Oh,
We did decide that if Irame could learn it within a day
Yeah.
of kind of hanging out with him. And I don't know if that has to be, like, all at once, or if maybe, like, the first
pick
half
it,
day we
yeah.
spent there, and then maybe today. And
yeah.
Pick up little
over
pieces,
time.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, over time, yeah.
I'll defer to Irame then.
Daniel's just like, yeah, they made it back last night. They're alive. Anyway, come on, back to business.
We could fuck with him. I'll accept poor Zevro.
So Petrie runs over, hands Daniel the letter. And he's like, "What is this? What do you got there?" And he puts his glasses back on. And he opens up the letter, breaks the seal on the letter, and he's reading it. Okay. All right, fair. Okay, this is good. I'm meeting a guy about sponsoring a rider for the races coming up here. I gotta meet him in a couple hours. What do you guys have planned for the day? Anything?
We're at your beck and call.
I would like to take a day to get a few odds and ends done in the city while we're here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I gotta meet up with a guy, but I'll be back this evening, and then we can perhaps go over some business. Petrie, what are the damn token? And he's throwing up his hands again. Says, "Okay, all right, interesting. All right, we'll look into it. Maybe I'll have these guys do it this evening." And you see, actually, give me a perception real quick. Let me see if you even notice it.
11 for Copernicus.
6 for Irame.
7 for Quincy. The one time I get higher than Irame.
And we both rolled so
Yeah.
low.
Yeah, you guys don't notice anything out of the ordinary. And he's like, "I gotta start getting ready."
Mr. Devitas, you did mention that there was mail service of some kind. I would like to send my letters back to Baldur's Gate. Well, Baragost by way of Baldur's Gate.
Yes, absolutely. Petrie's gonna run this over to the postal service, the post office. Yeah.
I'll get my things together and make sure that like my letters and stuff are sent to my family.
Yep. Petrie gathers everything up. Anyone else have anything to send out?
Nope.
No. My loved ones are gone, lest I remind you again and again.
Thought you'd have a letter going out to the Flaming Fist. Fuck you. Every week send him this.
I was actually wondering if Firefinger was part of the Flaming Fist.
Ooh.
Seems appropriate.
Touche. Yeah, so Petrie scampers off with all the letters to get them sent out. Daniel's still going to be around. He's going to be tidying up everything for the next 45 minutes or so, if you guys needed him for anything.
I did want to ask him, just really just for some references, perhaps where I could buy some clothes for when I'm not traipsing around the jungle, and also maybe if he knows of a historian in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go to the market ward just inside of the wall there. There you can find all sorts of stuff. As far as a historian goes, while you're in the market ward, you're better off asking around there. Although, I might be able to send word out to Syndra. She had stopped by while you guys were gone. And she's got friends in high places here in Nyanzaru.
Yes, I would absolutely prefer someone who has trustworthy historical knowledge of this particular area, of Chult itself, and maybe its ancient history.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get right on that.
Irame is going to spend that time trying to communicate with Petrie.
Petrie is actually running. Are you going with him?
Well, while everybody's talking, before he had left with the post,
Yeah.
that time would have been spent with her trying to use some of the signs that she picked up, like thanking him for taking the letters and trying to use his sign language as well.
Yep.
Basic conversation.
Yeah, really basic thank yous and how are yous and
Sure.
Copernicus will inquire for directions to the potion shop.
I think we could all use a couple if we plan on going back into the jungle.
Once again in the market ward. Market ward is in the main section of the city. And that's where you're going to find there's only one merchant that deals in potions. And they have a monopoly on that market, so it's not going to be hard. So are you guys embarking into the market, the market ward?
Yes. And when we're traveling about the city, Copernicus is going to start keeping his eyes out, looking for signs of Thieves Guild.
As is Irame. Irame is going to keep her eyes out for the orphans, actually. Just seeing if she sees them peeking around corners. And
As you guys leave the 3C shipping headquarters, you see kids all around, and they definitely look to be like they're part of something. You know, they're working. They're not just kids playing. Even if they are playing, they're always doing stuff. They always look as if they're eavesdropping or spying, keeping an eye on a corner. And they're all over the place, especially at this hour during the day. They're everywhere.
Irame will say, I think that the young orphans of Chult have some sort of underground communication organized. I don't know if they work for a particular person or if they sell information for gold pieces or for, that's how they get by. But I think if we need something to go around or if we're looking for something particular, as odd as it sounds, I think that communicating with one of the orphans or one of the street kids might prove to be effective.
It sounds like they have found their niche here in the city. Perhaps we should make sure that we are on good terms with them and they can be at our disposal.
Absolutely, and also be wise as to what we say when we're outside of our building.
Prying ears and eyes.
Yep, and if you're looking, they are if Copernicus, if you're looking at the same thing Irame is looking at, they carry very distinct similarities as the Thieves Guild that you worked with in Baldur's Gate.
Duly noted.
So as far as potions go, you find a potion shop. It's a stand, and it looks like a modest stand, but there's all sorts of potions and trinkets and baubles. and even some scroll cases hanging on the wall behind the desk, the makeshift desk. Behind the desk is a man with a towel wrapped around his head. He's dressed really nice. He's got wearing gold jewelry, fine robes, and his long black beard is braided into 3 long braids, and in the braids are gold jewelry.
Greetings, good sir. I would, like your finest healing potion, and maybe to see a selection of what else you have up on the table here.
Ah, of course, my friends.
Let me see the finest ones you got. Bring them right up.
He, without even looking, brings up potions. He's like, this right here, my friend.
I'm gonna get handsy with the potions, picking them up quickly, looking at them, putting them down, picking them up, looking at them.
He's
Shaking
like,
him,
"Oh,
holding him
easy,
up to the
easy,
light."
my friend. He's like, this right here is 300 gold pieces for this potion. He's like, this is the finest one. Are you looking for healing potions, or
No.
what in
Yes, I'd like a
particular?
healing potion, and what's that one back there, up on the rack?
I do not have potions on the rack, my friend.
Okay. How much for your damn healing potion, then?
Well, I could give you this potion of healing here. And he brings up another one. This one is 80 gold.
That's way too much.
This is the only place you're going to get potions, Copernicus.
Irme will step forward and say good morning.
Good morning, Erame, and how are you? Ah, you're surprised. I am good friends with your benefactor, Sindra Sylvain.
Ah, yes. She speaks of me. That unsettles Irme quite a bit.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wakanga. Now, Irme, you recognize the name Wakanga. He is one of the merchant princes of Port Nyanzaru. And he is the one you recognize that had met Sindra when she, in the Tariki anchorage, stuck out like a sore thumb.
Okay, so to kind of completely divert from him knowing and her not knowing how much of her that he knows, Irme is going to say, Wakanga it is. Is it common for prince merchants to be out here peddling their crafts, or?
He almost blushes, and he bows. He says, I am a very modest man. I make my living not all too different than any other businessman and woman.
Irme is going to try to charm him a bit. She's going to flirtatiously reach out and caress one of the braids hanging from his chin and say, modest enough to weave gold into your beard.
He blushes even more so, and he says, you flatter me, my lady. I am not anything special. Whatever it is you think of me, I am nothing in comparison. I am certain of that. Perhaps dinner tonight, in my villa.
What are we having?
Quincy.
You are all invited if you would like, but I would prefer just the two of us.
I guess I'll go over here and look at the scrolls.
Irme won't pass up the chance to learn more of Cholt from Wakanga, and she will accept his offer for dinner.
Ah, very good. Our mutual friend is staying at my villa. Perhaps it would be most beneficial for all of us.
Slay hand potion.
Yeah, going for it.
Going for it.
You take the dirt bag out of Baldur's Gate. You can't take the gate out of the dirt bag.
All right, let's
Spice it up a
you-
little.
Ah, he's a thief.
You're gonna make it harder for the rest of us.
That's what he does.
Spice it up a little, you know? Fucking baths and dinner. I can't believe I don't have an inspiration yet.
I think
I don't have one either.
Kway's the only one.
Fucking K-Way's got one.
Are you
You're not
ready
gonna,
for this?
You guys aren't going to get an inspiration until your first character death, so you're going to come back with an inspiration. Hold on, I'm trying to get his stats up here. Because I'm going to straight up do this fucking... Wow. So this guy is a 9th level spellcaster.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
He's a fucking merchant prince of the city.
Yeah, that's why Irame was like,
He can cast level 5
what
spells.
Are you doing? What are you doing hanging out here peddling potions?
All right.
Ooh,
It's a 19.
All right.
not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not
That
great.
could be 1 point better, really.
Is that
You
is it
just rolled
adjusted 19?
Adjusted 19.
You
All
mean
right.
you just tried a sleight of hand and you only have a +2 on your sleight? He rolled a natural 17.
All right,
Prone to poor,
19.
prone to poor moral choices.
That's true.
Yes,
That
it is.
true.
Yeah, he's playing to his character.
Hey, so you guys make a perception check to see if you see him do this. And you have to beat a 19. That's his sleight of hand.
Only 14 for Quincy.
Yeah, 16.
All right, and you
beat us.
Which potion do you steal?
I mentioned I was going for that 80 gold piece.
80 gold
Yep.
piece one? Okay. All right, so you pocket a potion, the smaller of the two potions.
Of healing.
It is a potion of healing.
And then after he pockets that, he'll go right into haggling for prices. Let's talk about this 80 gold piece prices. And keeps picking up other bottles, looking at him, feigning interest.
He appears more interested in Arame's eyes, and then finally he breaks himself away, and he says, "What is it, my friend? Do you plan on purchasing anything, or did you just come to be invited to dinner at my personal villa for the evening?"
Well, that does sound fantastic, but I would like to buy a potion of healing, please.
What of the one that I already brought up? Was that the one that you would?
You never brought one up. You must be awestruck by the elf. Saw the look in your eyes, mate.
Oh, I thought you were going to pay me for the one that you have taken.
Ah, Jesus.
Persuasion for haggling, possibly.
Yeah, give me a. It'll be a. Yeah,
Yeah,
persuasion.
All right. 22.
22.
That
little bit
charisma
better.
shining through.
A little bit better. He rolled the same exact natural roll.
Yeah,
Natural 17.
rolling high.
It's just persuasion against persuasion. How does haggling work?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing anyway. I'm gonna roll a persuasion. The highest
Makes
wins.
sense.
All right, so he doesn't have much in the way of that, so you should be good. What do I gotta beat?
22.
He says, "Okay, you win 40 gold pieces."
Wow.
Wow.
That is a fair price.
Buy a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
You must haggle on that one as well.
All right, I'll just take 1. I wasn't gonna steal it.
Pardon me, but other than potions, I do see you have some scrolls in the inventory.
Yes, you are Quincy Follow, was it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have heard much of you.
Well, I am flattered.
What scrolls are you interested in?
I didn't have anything particular in mind, but I would like to browse.
Absolutely. I have level 1 spell scrolls for 100 gold pieces each, and level 2 spell scrolls for 550 gold pieces each.
Quincy will start looking at the level 1 spell scrolls.
While Quincy's looking, Irame will continue speaking to Wakanga.
Mm-hmm.
During our first adventure into the jungles, we stumbled across some scrolls. I should bring them to dinner. You could probably make short work of them for us.
Oh, yes, I would love to look at your scrolls. Perhaps I will buy them from you, and I can sell them in my shop.
Yes.
Are they spell scrolls?
Quincy, you could sell the scrolls that we have already identified. Perhaps get one that you desire.
Do we think that perhaps the scrolls we found would not be useful to us? So there's a alarm is for a ranger wizard. Is that something Zavril could perhaps use?
I say we sell it.
And then there are 2 warlock scrolls as well. And a bod scroll. Okay, so there's a level 1 alarm spell.
I
That
would-
seems useful for a camp in the jungle,
Yes.
honestly.
Could Zavril use
You don't
that?
trust my bone line.
If
We-
Zavril's a ranger, if
Bone line was washed away. It would be
You're-
terrifying.
Zimwabi, where'd you come from?
Maybe ask him. Maybe unroll it and ask if our
yeah, we could always
Okay.
we could always sell them later if
Yeah.
it turns out that
Yeah,
that we don't wanna keep
there's
them.
There's no time limit on it.
and the potions that he's selling, other than the healing potions, are they sort of similar? Are they also first level?
It goes by common potions are 80 gold and uncommon potions are 300. So if you and a list of those can be found on Beyond.
Wakenga, I would like to purchase the same potion as my friend here.
For you, my lady, 40 gold.
Irme will bow a bit and say thank you.
Must be nice to be the DM's wife. I gotta try to steal it and persuade and jump through these damn hoops.
You guys might be like, you guys might have noticed how comfortable Irme was in places like the bathhouse, in places of luxury, and how easily she's communicating with Wakanga, who's a man of wealth and magic. Might just give you some insight into her background, not as far as mechanically, but where she's from, her family, and her lifestyle before.
Maybe a little more affluent
Yeah.
of origin. I forget how much were the first level spells scrolls.
Yes, 100 gold pieces each.
Ooh, wow, that's quite a bit. We've only just landed in Chult.
Well, I'd be interested in hearing your offer, my friend.
Can I aid him with my smiles and
Your scar across here. Please cover your scar.
you disgust me?
No, it says that lifetime friend of Sindra Sylvain, and he's something of a dandy who's easily seduced by smart women.
I could part with 75 gold pieces and feel quite good about the exchange.
I'm sorry, I was lost in Irame's eyes. What was it that you said?
No, Quincy, 40 for me, 40 for the lady. They were buying 3 potions here. You can cut our friend Quincy a deal, too.
Well, let's see a roll. What'd you roll?
14.
14. I could part with it for 40. That's it.
Oh, 40 gold pieces is much more reasonable, sir. I would like a scroll of sleep, if you will.
Oh, wait, this was for a scroll?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
that's,
Yeah.
I thought it was for a potion. Sorry, it's going to be 50%, so it's going to be 50.
Okay, 50 gold pieces is acceptable.
He rummages through some things and he pulls one up. I just scribed this one this morning. Quincy, you will find it quite precise.
Legible.
I do appreciate fine penmanship. Very good calligraphy, sir.
This evening, we're all playing together. Would Syndra be in attendance?
If she is feeling up to it, she will be among us. She has not been feeling well, as you could imagine.
I'm sorry to hear that. I've grown fond of Syndra.
We are trying everything to see her through this.
I do hope to see her again.
And as a matter of fact, it is why I cannot just give you these things for free. All of this profits are going towards everything we can do to help her at least be comfortable in these twilight days.
Has her attitude improved at all with the weather?
Her attitude. I am unfamiliar with the joke.
Throwing glasses and such.
Before you came unhinged?
I don't think Wakanga was there for that.
no,
one.
that was it.
That was Gusan,
Gusan.
the ship captain.
Mr. Wakenga, sir, I am looking to find some clothes that are more suitable for the city life here in Port Nyanzaru rather than my expedition clothing. Could you recommend some place that is, perhaps reasonable for a man of semi-modest means, such as myself, but also socially acceptable?
Yes, absolutely. It just so happens that clothing is not governed by any of the so-called merchant princes, as it were. So they are free market for any and all. You will find many of them all around the market ward. You must have even passed a few to get here.
I did, but I'm afraid that I still am not quite sure what is fashionable and what is acceptable in social circles
I
here in
understand.
Nyanzaro.
You want. Forgive me, I misunderstood you. You want something more than just common garb. In that case, you will find a woman who goes by the name of Xanthi. She is, in fact, royalty, as it were.
And by royalty, do you mean she is another merchant princess?
We do not really consider ourselves merchant princes. That is more of a common term used by others to describe us. We are merely merchants.
Like how we're described as heroes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, she deals in gems, jewelry, cloth, and also fine armor, if it is armor that you seek.
Excellent. I appreciate the reference. The referral? Reference?
Recommendation?
Recommend. I appreciate your help.
Thank you. Thank you for the R word.
I'll fall back to the 4-letter words.
Yeah.
I will send word to your headquarters for our meeting tonight.
And I do hope to be adequately dressed, thanks to you.
It is unnecessary, but thank you.
Quincy will shoot Copernicus a glance.
He'll tidy up his armor.
I look great in scale mail.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard to find Xanthi's shop.
Yeah, and essentially I'm just going to throw myself at her mercy. I'm going to say I'm just basically looking for something suitable to wear for semi-formal occasions
You have a dinner party tonight.
in the city. I do have a dinner party tonight.
She says, yes, I have just the thing.
Low price of 300 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of price range we're looking at for garb, semi-formal garb.
Yeah.
And Quincy, while he's there, he'll also try, he'll be trying on things and trying to get a feel for like how it suits him, how he feels that it suits him.
Cloth fine, 15 gold pieces.
All right, so in Chult, it would be closer to 20.
Okay.
Or in Nyanzaro. Or are you going to try to
And
haggle?
I will not try to haggle for my clothing.
Do not. I like to pay the most.
That just sounds rather crass, don't you think?
Everybody tries to haggle.
Well, for common items and maybe for survival items, but for clothing, for shoes, for clothing.
Or if you're getting properly fitted.
Exactly.
She brandishes this beautiful ring. Gold ring. She says, would this not look just fine with that outfit?
I'm going to hold up my ring of featherfall. I'll be like, I do already wear a ring, and I believe that wearing more than one is just a bit cumbersome.
She says, forgive me. She puts the
Although,
ring.
I will try to glance at the ring, and is there anything I could discern from it?
No, it's just a beautiful
it's
piece of
just
jewelry.
a beautiful piece of jewelry.
And when she says, forgive me, and she brings the ring case down below the counter, and in the same motion brings it up, and it's a bracelet.
Oh, I like this lady.
I did not see that you had a ring already. Perhaps this fine gold bracelet, a mere 50 gold pieces.
And this is Xanthi?
It is.
Madam Xanthi? What is the proper form of address?
Xanthi is fine.
Miss Xanthi, you flatter me with such beautiful jewelry, but I feel the clothing is quite adequate. It is fine craftsmanship. Do you create these clothes yourself, or do you?
Sadly, I do not, but I do have the best tailors around under my employ. And jewelers, of course, as well.
Well, they all do wonderful work.
Well, thank you. I will be sure to let them know of your praises.
All right. I think Quincy feels a lot better having clothes that he feels like isn't like is local. He feels in place. They're nicer clothes. We're no longer traipsing about the jungle, fighting and getting bloody and dirty and muddy. So it feels good to be dressed for the proper occasion.
Took me a solid year to wear in this armor.
It looks like you've worn it in for 5 years.
Quite possibly. It's expensive.
I think it suits you, Copernicus.
Thank you.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling that Quincy has a little bit of a conflicted relationship with Copernicus.
Conflicted?
Yeah, I think at first there was a camaraderie that was building, and that he was feeling like Copernicus could be somebody he could learn from and somebody that he could trust. But I think the whole Sybil dimension, like it just adds a level of
Mistrust or...
I don't even know if it's mistrust as much as judgment, like you've made a poor decision. And
Yeah.
like he definitely doesn't trust Sybil. It's not that he necessarily mistrusts Copernicus, but maybe he thinks Copernicus is foolish for making that pact.
That's quite understandable.
I don't know. There might be a little bit of stuff coming out sometimes in his interactions with Copernicus. I was just starting to notice that.
I think Copernicus has grown a fond respect for the both of you, for Irame and Quincy, though. After that jungle trek and really putting our lives on the line to save those people. Like, whereas maybe he saw Irame as just like a young girl before, you know, now he's seeing like a more experienced woman growing, and same with Quincy, just kind of being young and green. The fact that you've pretty much saved everyone's life at least once with your healing.
We have yet had to make foolish decisions.
Yeah, I could see that happening too. There was quite a few moments where I think Copernicus had crumbled under the, you know what I mean, under the awesomeness, you know, of you guys' moments when you came through. You know what I mean? There was a few times where I was like, oh, that was nice of Copernicus. You know what I mean? Where I wasn't expecting it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you're leaving, she says, oh, and by the way, if you've got the time, you look like the sorts in between your parties and whatnot. Speak with the harbor master. Zindar is his name, if you didn't know it already. He is looking for workers.
Zinda?
Zindar.
Zindar.
He is the half-dragon. You can't...
Half dragon.
Yes, you can't miss him.
And what kind of workers does he look for?
She kind of lowers her voice as, you must speak with him on such matters. I am only supplying the reward.
As Copernicus leans forward as she lowers her voice, takes a big whiff, catch the smell of her hair.
Jesus. He's been creeping everybody the last couple days in town. Since we've
So
been back.
Sybil encounters, man.
7 days in the jungle, and he's all tickling palms and smelling hair.
And then other folk come up, and she starts working on them. Yes, and what can I do for you?
I am quite curious, although we do have, so it sounds like we have options, but perhaps there's a job from the harbor master that can be done at the same time as whatever we're going to do for Mr. Devitas. We could perhaps be working 2 streams of income simultaneously.
A half dragon, I'd be interested in just meeting a person like that.
Absolutely, and the harbor master, the title sounds like somebody we would like to have in our favor.
Then we are agreed to at least meet this person and see what they have to say.
Would a culture or a people pop into Irame's head when she said half dragon?
Let me see. When I read it, I thought that they just were talking about a dragonborn.
Yeah, that's what.
Because aren't they half dragons for the most part?
Yep. But I didn't know if in game, I don't know if Irame would immediately know she was speaking of a dragonborn.
It actually says half dragon, not a dragonborn. Interesting.
I remember reading something about dragonborns, and
I don't think dragonborns are half dragons. I
No,
think
they're
they just
not.
have dragon blood or
they
something.
do.
While we are traveling through town, Quincy would like to get a bead on Mr. Dewshine, just to have a sense of, you know, where he's at and how to find him. It's not super urgent, but he does want to make sure that he keeps that on his
Mr.
radar.
Mr. Dewshine, the brave fool who helped us in the Anklesoa battle.
Ah,
The cobbler.
Yes, the gentleman cobbler who yes, aided us in the Anklesaur fight.
We should-
You could assume at this point that if he did within the past 7 days or so get something fired up, it would probably be in the Tariki anchorage rather than the market ward.
Okay, so he's not going to be on the way to the... No, that's fine. And even if he didn't get anything fired up as far as business, I'd like to find him personally.
Right. Why don't you give me a...
Investigation, perhaps?
Yeah. Why don't we do an investigation?
Natty 19.
Natty 19
Natty
on the
19.
investigation.
Total of 25.
Yeah, somebody has heard of Dewshine. I guess he's been throwing his name around trying to ramp up future business that he does plan on establishing very soon in the Tariki anchorage. You couldn't necessarily find an exact location of him currently, but he does frequent the Tariki anchorage port often.
Dewshine footwear, right?
That's right. And in the meanwhile, before he has been selling here and there kind of on the port without necessarily having a stall or anything like that. Just brings out a few items that he stands next to and sells. So by now, after the amount of time it's taken just shopping around and haggling and all this, it's probably getting to be afternoon at this point.
Yes.
Heading into evening.
Irame would like to go home before.
Yeah, and meet up with... I think you guys had plans to meet
Yes.
up with Daniel.
Yep.
When you do make it back to the 3C shipping, to you guys' headquarters, you go in and you see Daniel reading over a new letter, and it's got a familiar seal on it that you recognize. It's Sindra Sylvain's seal, wax seal. He looks up and he's like, good, I'm glad you guys are here. I just got this.
It's good to come in and get out of the heat.
What news does it hold?
It's a letter from our benefactor. He hands it to you, Arame. He's like, you can read it for yourself. You take it and you look at it, and it says, seek wisdom in Oralunga.
Seek wisdom in Oralunga.
Yep, and then just underneath that, it says, I can get your team passage to the newfound camp belonging to the Order of the Gauntlet. From there, it is roughly 9 days west on foot through thick jungle. Somewhere near the baseline of the Mistcliff Mountains lies an ancient ziggurat that is said to have answers. A guide is suggested. And as you're reading this, you look up and you see Daniel with chalk is writing it up on the expedition board. We'll see you next time.
I've been walking the streets tonight.
What song is that?
Patience?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little patience.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Stop.
Christy, every time we hear Guns N' Roses song come on, both Christy and I are like,
Oh, come on. I like some of their... I like...
Axl Rose's voice is enough to fucking... I'd rather have Sybil caressing
You know
me.
what's funny is I like Axl Rose's like exaggerated voice. You know what I mean? Like
I
I
hope,
like it when he's like really laying it on thick.
Man,
But-
I tell you,
I hope
Appetite for
Beavis doesn't
Destruction,
listen to this.
Right.
Fucking
We'd lose a
Appetite for
follower.
Destruction's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it changed
Spaghetti
my life.
Incident?
It changed my life.
I'm serious. I never heard music like that before. Appetite for Destruction was like... just hit the scene.
No, I remember being
hard.
like 5 years old and just fucking jumping on my brother's bed with a broom, just fucking losing my mind.
It was like
awesome.
before me.
I think I actually...
I feel like
Yeah, it would have been.
Never
right?
mind. I'm not going to tell this story.
What's the story?
When I dressed up like Axl Rose, but to have the long hair, I used your sister's pantyhose on my head, and then put the bandana over the pantyhose. You know?
All right, we're getting off the rails here.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Anyway,
Good content as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know if that should go in there.
You don't think so?
Yeah, you just said you put pantyhose on your head. We're finding a way to stick in that.
Yeah,
And I wasn't even robbing a bank.